Salutations, ladies, lads, and all you royal rads. The very first installment of Damsels, Overdressed. Today, my friend and I, self-proclaimed the awesomest friend ever, will be planning something extra special and make sure you cower in secondhand embarrassment. Whilst you simultaneously feel envious of us, we hope our determined stupidity will leave you feeling inspired. Ballgowns. We bought ballgowns. Was it because we wanted to loathe in self-embarrassment? I want to be silently judged and stared at. For fun. What will happen when we go to boring, generic places with these lavish dresses? I mean, other than dying from humiliation. Let's find out. So my friend and I are browsing through online shops to find the perfect option. Something that is just enough over the top as it is cheap and accessible because we are 14 and broke. At least one of us is, and that one also happens to be paying for the whole ordeal. So we're gonna have to go with something not too extraordinary, although I totally wish I could buy the most extravagant dress they have. Unfortunately, that is another video for another day. So we'll make do with what we have. So when we refer to ball gowns, we're mostly going to be talking about the 19th century, which includes Edwardian, Victorian, and whatever old person word that can be used to describe the dinosaur era. You think Victorian and you might picture something like this. But Queen Victoria ruled for 60 years. That's 6 decades of style, and fashion is constantly changing. Roughly around 1800 or so, delicate, lightweight fabrics were all that you needed to be popular. That and money. Everyday outfits from around 1818 resembled something like this. Enter Queen Victoria. In 1830, sleeves were more poofy, skirts were more robust, were slimmer, busts were even higher up, or completely concealed in a mess of fabric and tulle and accessory. It's probably more like the 1840s, where we see more of what we picture these dresses in our heads to look like. By 1860, crinoline was utilized, and we got to experience that real volume. So from there, we start to see more of the classics, take a few steps back, and try a whole bunch of new things. Sometimes we were like, out with the in with the out with the new, in with the old, out with the and sometimes we were like, in with the old, in with the sometimes we were like, in with the old, with a new twist. Sometimes we were like, in with the old, the new can stay. The more iconic dresses were heavily inspired by Victorian and Edwardian fashion styles. The Victorian era's fashion was nearly bipolar, developing over the course of decades drastically. While it may not have been as elaborate as 60s crop top and dresses today, the differences are what make history. Since we want to be as dramatic and as apparent as possible, we want to go for more of that classic image. So we're shooting towards more of the Victorian era. We're going to be more extra than the Kardashians' plastic surgeon. We're going to have to work with our limited resources. So sites like Amazon won't be entirely ethical, nor will they be completely or very much historically accurate at all. Have to be our go-tos, but maybe later on the line we could resort to more high-end or more authentic shops. Our goal is to capture the life of a Victorian woman with way too much time on her hands, although it won't be too hard considering that's already true, besides the Victorian part, of course. The dresses we landed on were slightly different versions of the same product. This was supposed to be mine, and if I had to pinpoint the era it is based off of, I would probably say somewhere near the mid to late 1700s, around 1770 or 1780, in the Victorian era, with just a little hint of pirate. Twins is a much simpler, toned down version, and initially hers was going to be a shorter version of that same dress, but in the color wine, before we found out that they were all that length, which was fine and it was all going pretty swell, until we decided No, we couldn't do any of that. None of that was gonna work. It wasn't supposed to come for a while, and the reviews weren't that promising. It just was very unpredictable. So we decided to go with dresses that were bought off the same site that we already had. So we each ended up choosing these dresses that date around a similar time that we already had on hand, a pink version and a blue version. Quinn will wear the blue version, I will wear the pink version, and that's how we were just gonna do things. Luckily, these dresses happen to be from a similar time era. It's not as complicated, no hints of pirate. It's much more simpler dress. But of course, we'd still be using the hoop skirts, so they'd be as fancy as we needed them to.
I look like this one. We have the same color hair. Kind of. Not really, I'm lying.
I look like this one just because our skirts are similar, but nothing about
We're doing an interview. I am Vogue. So here is our person. Hello!
How did you get into my house?
It's Vogue. Hi. We're going to here to ask you 20 questions about your
killed the
lavish
knight.
life. Huh?
Okay, ask me the questions.
Okay, one. This is a beautiful house you have. Is it
Thank
yours?
you. Yes. It's
Are you
definitely
sure?
mine.
Is that a real painting?
Yes, it's very authentic. I definitely did not steal it.
That's amazing.
Thank
you
you.
probably painted her yourself.
Yeah.
Jerry, you're late to work. Get to your desk. Are you gonna get to your desk? You have so much work to do.
Put these on. Are these for you?
Look, it's a bunch of license plates.
Yes.
Haha, is this legal?
We should dox them all.
What are you cooking up here?
I'm cooking lemons, peeled lemons, and an orange with dents in it.
What does it end up being?
Cooked oranges and lemons.
Oh.
Wow, look at her lashes. Super real. Just look at the lily lashes. I don't know.
You don't have lashes.
Yes, I actually do. In my backpack. Always a bridesmaid, never a sober one. Finally, he put a ring on it. Weddings. Oh yes, my favorite mug. I like her butt. Something
That's so romantic.
alive. And they say chivalry is dead.
Stop. That's a B. That's a B. Put the B down. Put the B down. Put it down.
He needs a proper burial.
It's not even dead yet. Put the B down.
He's dying. Go me, be free.
He could have stinged you.
But he didn't.
Husband and your child? That's a little weird.
No. He's someone's husband.
Oh. Yes. I'm gonna hit something. Put it back.
Okay.
I just want to say I love your dress.
Oh, thank you. It's so beautiful. Thank you. The meaningful portion of today's video. Go out, stand out. I would wish you a peaceful parting, but I want you to want more episodes. And with that, I bid thee adieu.